Hey guys, GR here, and I'll be bringing you guys an inbox kit review of Dragon's 88mm FlaK36 with Flak Artillery Crew kit. This past week, actually, I was on vacation, so I took a nice break from the bench as well as work. Went up, did a cottage thing with the family for a week just south of the Muskoka area. And it was fantastic, but having all that said and being all nice and relaxed, I am glad to be back at the bench. Just been catching up on a few videos with YouTube because I missed a lot. You guys been doing a lot. Some of you guys are actually on vacation too, which is great. It's summertime, so get out there and enjoy. But enough jibber jabber. We'll get cracking on with this inbox kit review. So, first impressions. It's got excellent box art. Again, this is it almost gives you an idea for a diorama just with the box art itself, right? Like the way it's all set up, which is nice. This kit was manufactured in 2005, which should not be an issue for lack of detail with Dragon, because Dragon has always been amazing with their crisp details and all that, so I don't think we should have any issues, but we'll find out once we open it up. And on the side there, on the side here, see if we can zoom in a little bit. It shows you basically this kit comes with a 6-man gun crew, which is a very nice addition, especially if you guys are thinking of doing a diorama. It shows you a little bit of the extras that you get, boxes for the ammunition storage, as well as various photo etch parts. And the cool thing about this kit actually is that you get a aluminum gun barrel for not only the Type 36 but also the Type 18, which is both being replicated realistically, because the Type 18 barrel was actually not monochrome, but just one piece, and the Type 36 barrel actually did come in two separate pieces, so that's been reproduced very realistically. As well, you get some metal chains, and yeah, this is looks like a great kit right off the bat. Again, you got some more detail shots of how this will all build up, and again on the back as well. So very nice. So let's go ahead and crack her open and see what we got. So start off with the instructions. I'll get back. Actually, I'll probably do the instructions near the end. We'll go a bit through the sprues themselves. So first things first, got typical Dragon cardboard with all the photo etch and little knickknacks attached, along with the decals. So you get a whole slew of decals for various markings that you may want to portray on the vehicle. Again, it may be a little difficult to pick up, but it's all good. Looks like you got some photo etch pieces for, I believe it's the ammunition. I believe it's the bottom of the ammunition. Don't quote me on that. It actually does say Tiger 1, so it's got something to do with the 88mm ammunition that this would be firing. So clearly this photo etch fret has come from a different kit. And you got, looks like a kind of like a vinyl or some sort of nylon wire or rope for the winch system on the towing limber, which is kind of cool too. So that is that one. So you get a whole nice kind of case to, whoops, let's get this focused. There we go. Which houses the gun stabilizers or equalizers, as well as both aluminum barrels and some 88mm rounds, as well as the chains. That's very nice, great detail. I don't know much going forth. I don't know much about this piece of equipment, but I do know the Type 36 at least had an 8,000 foot ceiling when positioned in anti-aircraft mode, but this was also used as a tank destroyer very quickly. It did see some action. Actually, it was put through its rounds or trials during the Spanish Civil War, right before the outbreak of the Second World War, and that's when the Germans discovered that it would suit the battlefield as a great tank destroyer, sniping from a great distance away. So I mean, back in the beginning of World War II, the 88 was definitely the king of the battlefield back then. So here it looks like we got some parts for the superstructure, and got some very crisp details, not a lot of flash, which is excellent. Try to actually, here's the gun shield itself, which is very thin. Actually, that's quite nice. Nice in scale sheet metal look for sure. That is part of the superstructure and the gun shield. Got looks like three frets or sprues of more of the gun mechanism. And if you guys don't want to use the metal barrels, which I do recommend using the metal barrels, looks fantastic and there's zero cleanup, but looks like they do give you the option of using plastic, styrene. So again, very crisp details, very nice bolt details. I think this side is gun mechanism parts, and this looks like suspension and parts for the towing limber that would help tow this around in travel mode. So very good stuff. In addition to the brass shells that you saw earlier, this is parts for the storage bins, as well as extra ammunition, spent rounds and unspent rounds. Looks like some more detail parts for the gun as well, but this will be a nice addition. Don't really have to go out for aftermarket stuff. You kind of get your diorama equipment all in this kit, which is very nice indeed. That's that. Here you got the wheels. It's almost like actually I've seen this. The only other time I've seen wheels being built up like this, instead of either fully plastic wheels already assembled or the rubber wheels, I've only seen this method used in the mini art kit that I did, actually the Poland 1944 with, I believe it was the ZIS 3 or ZIS 5 gun. Those wheels had to be assembled exactly like this, but very nice detail as well on the rubber on the outsides of the wheels. So very nicely done as well. And lastly, we got a whole slew of parts in this bag. Actually, it's a shame one has already. Actually, I don't even know if this was supposed to be on a part of a sprue, but kind of got one loose, which is unfortunate. But this seems to be more parts. Here's a rim for the limber itself. Let's see if we can brighten that up. And here is each side of the actual limber itself. So again, very nice crisp detail. There's just a little bit cleanup on it, but no protruding flash or soft details, or even actually on the only thing that I can see on the inside is ejector pin marks, but that's fine. Once the wheels have been placed there, you will not see that at all. So there's only a few things that you'd have to clean up on that end of the bit. But as for the rest, as for the backside, you got 6 crew members, all very nicely crisply detailed as well. Not a lot of flash at all, which is fantastic for figures. So there's always a lot of cleanup on seam lines for figures. But aside from the main seam lines that you would get with figure sets, it's all very nicely detailed. Yeah, this will definitely build up very nicely. So with that all done, that is all the sprues. This kit does say it contains 580 plus parts. So this will definitely keep. It's not the most complicated, just because it's not a large piece of equipment, but with all the detail parts and all the small bits for the gun firing mechanism, will definitely keep you busy. Probably recommended for the intermediate to expert. There's not a lot of photo etch, so I mean, if you guys don't fancy the photo etch detail parts, then this definitely is a kit for you. There's only 2 frets, and I think most of it's for the actual shell casings themselves, and only a few parts that relate to the gun firing mechanism. So definitely not heavy on the photo etch parts, which is completely fine. And we will get to the instructions. So as you can see, looks like actually most of the parts shaded in blue are the parts that will not be used. So there are only a few dabs of blue on this sprue map, which is great, because I mean almost all the parts will be used. So, but again, unfortunately, typical with Dragon instructions, is their instructions are absolutely chaotic, which you may be able to pick up. And it looks like you'll have to be a little careful when assembling each gun. I mean, it's either one or the other for the type 36 or type 18. But just quickly going through some of these instructions, I think you got to be a little careful as to which parts go with what gun barrel. So that's another thing to keep an eye on. But as for that is that. Last looks like the last bit of the instructions is the crew, assembling the crew, which is very straightforward. I always found that Dragon had nice figure instructions as well as painting guides. And then down here we have one set for the markings. Looks like Caucasus 1942 and 43. I believe that's supposed to be field gray with Middlestone camouflage. And then at the back we have, looks like 5 more. So you definitely get a lot of marking choices with this kit as well, which is very nice. Looks like this is actually, if you're not comfortable with airbrushing or doing your own camouflage, looks like this actually has 3 decals or 2 decals on each side of the gun barrel for camouflage themselves. I think you might have seen that in with the decals themselves there too, which is fine for you know, beginners, I guess, or people who are not comfortable with airbrushing or applying their own camouflage. But I will not be using that when going forth with this kit. And looks like some pretty solid markings. This looks like the winter camouflage scheme with field gray or German gray with white or an off-white. So you got some desert schemes as well as the Eastern Front, so, and the Italian scheme up here. So looks like, all in all, very nice kit, very highly detailed, and definitely be one to keep an eye out for if you're a fan of anti-aircraft equipment, Axis anti-aircraft equipment, that is. So all in all, I would highly recommend this kit. To, again, there's a lot of small plastic parts, so I would probably recommend this to the intermediate, to the expert builder. But you know, if you guys are up for it, and beginners, I'm sure you guys will not have too much of an issue with this. Just again, with the Dragon instructions, always reread, double check, and stay current with the instructions, or even a few steps ahead of where you're at, just to make sure everything is going where it should be. So all in all, that'll be it for this inbox kit review. I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and happy modeling, guys. Cheers.